Hey everyone! In the first part of this video, we analyzed a laning phase from one of my own Diamond 1 Smurf games where I'm playing Aurelia vs Malzahar. In this part, I'm going to be going over the macro decisions I made to close out the game even though my team was making it really difficult and threw a ton. While we're about to run through Mcbaze specific, I'll be explaining what information I'm gathering and how I convert that information into making the correct decisions as this plays out. So, you'll be learning different things about how to macro for any champion. Let's get right into it. Laning phase just ended and I'm pretty fed. I'm 3-0 on Aurelia and I just took the first tower mid after killing Malz. Our top laner just got solo killed by the enemy Gnar, and the enemy Rengar just ganked bot and killed both of my bot laners, so it's up to me to make something happen this game and convert my lane lead. I have plenty of gold from the first turret bonus that I haven't yet spent. Most of the time, the best play here would be to recall and spend it, but first I need to analyze the minimap. I can see literally everyone on the other team and my jungler is right here, so before recalling, the correct play is to dive the enemy mid laner since it's a guaranteed 2v1. So, I spam ping my jungler to come with me and kill Malz and we get a really easy kill. This is a concept called cross mapping. When the enemy jungler makes a play on one side of the map, you want to go with your jungler to make a play on the other side. So if my top laner didn't just die here, me and my jungler would have went for a top lane dive instead so we could get that tower. But since our top laner just got solo killed, mid was the only play to be made. But remember, you don't go for a dive like this when you don't know where the other members are, because if they are around, this is probably a huge throw. Moving on, I'm looking to recall, but I see my enemy jungler wanted to take their blue. So I have to decide whether to stay or spam him back and just leave. To decide this, I need to see where everyone is on the map. I see Rakan, Gnar, and Rengar around the blue buff in Misfortune's bot lane. I have 2k gold right now as well. I could either get the honey fruit and help out my jungler, or recall. If you were me, what would you do? Alright, so when I was playing this game, I didn't actually see the Rakan. So I made my decision based off just knowing it'll likely be Gnar and Rengar here, and I decided to go for the fruit into helping my jungler take this blue. These decisions are always really tricky to make because you don't want to let your teammates down when they're already engaged in a play. But in hindsight, I should have just recalled. I have 2k gold to spend and this is just overstaying. The risk of giving away my shutdown gold for a blue buff while I have so much gold is not even close to worth it. But let's see what happens. My jungler kills Rakan and gets killed by Rengar, but Rengar is really low. Also I see my bot lane kill the enemy Misfortune. I go ahead and get the kill onto Rengar. This is an overstay, but it paid off. I should just leave now. But because I'm NA, I stay to take the blue. I did this because I see Malz bot, meaning I shouldn't have any threats near me besides Gnar. Gnar tries to stop us, so I ult him and try to chase. This is a big misplay because I didn't take into consideration how low the death timer was on Rakan and Misfortune. So I overchase really hard and end up giving away shutdown gold. Now that I've died, it makes the game harder. I'm still strong enough to carry, but I've just fed Malzahar a big boost in gold which will make my job much harder. Anyways, since I'm still a fed Aurelia, I have to look at how strong my team is before deciding if I should split or group and team fight. Since my whole team is behind, I ideally don't want to make plays with them. My champion is a really strong 1v1 champion, so while I have the most gold on the map with my item spike of Trinity Force, I want to split push to solo pressure. You should want to be split pushing on champions that can easily 1v1 anyone and take towers fast, like Zed, Echo, etc. It's not good to split on champions like Syndra because bruisers can easily 1v1 her, so you want to group and carry team fights. Okay. So I tell my team to not fight while I go down bot and get pressure. But I'm sure you're thinking, my teammates won't listen to me when you say you're going to go push. Don't worry, they don't listen to me either, as you will see soon. And remember, this is Diamond 1 and Masters Elo. Alright, so I decide to split push in the bottom lane instead of mid or top. Take a look at the minimap and try to identify why would I go bot here. Bot is best because mid lane sucks for split pushing as it's a central area when you're most likely going to encounter team fighting. Top lane right now is the incorrect choice because Rift Herald is up. If I went top lane and there's a fight around Herald, I'd have to team fight. Whereas if I go bot lane and pull pressure towards me, my team can get Herald. If the enemy team goes for Herald, they won't have enough players to deal with me bot lane and I can look for towers and solo kills. Now the most important thing when splitting is to wait until you know where everyone is on the map so you don't get 2v1'd and die. And make sure your team is actually on the map and not in base shopping or something, so if they send multiple people to kill you, your team can get other objectives. That's why I sit in this brush. I need to see where Rengar is first, then once Mcbaze clears the wave, I go back to pushing it in again. As I'm pushing in the wave, my Gragas gets caught, so the correct play here is to just trade towers. If I recall, the enemy team will already have the tower before I get there, so I can just take this tower and recall before they get the next one. This is where my team throws really hard though. My Lucian is top and just use Rift Herald, so the enemy team will 100% have to respond to that after they take the first tower. So my Braum and Xin just have to give the tower and defend the next one with me when I recall, while Lucian and the Herald take 2 towers. Sadly, Braum and Xin wouldn't listen to my pings and stay and die. Since they died, they get 2 towers and an inhibitor. This would have been a really good objective trade for us and my team threw it really hard, but since we just got 2 towers and the enemy team is going to reset, I do the same. There's nothing left for me to do down here. Just like before, I head down to split bot to get bot pressure. The goal is to get one of them to come down here and either kill them or flank the rest of their team if they are out of position. It's still really hard for us to win a straight up 5v5. You may be wondering why I'm heading bot lane, when there's still an outer turret up in the top lane. The main reason why bot is still better here is because there's more for me to get by splitting. This is an aggressive choice by me, because if they don't answer my split, I can get an inhibitor instead of 1 or maybe 2 towers topside. With another minimap check, I only see Gnar on the map. I'm just going to take Krugs while I wait for more to show. As I'm doing that, Mcbaze tries to come poke me a bit, and my Gragas catches the enemy Rengar in the jungle. To decide if I can take this fight, I just need to look at the map. Rakan is in mid and Gnar is top. Those are my 2 biggest crowd control threats since I have QSS for Malzahar ult. And since I'm so far ahead of Mcbaze, if Misfortune shows up, we will still easily win 3v2. So I ult Rengar over the wall so I can dash to him without my Q going on cooldown, then land a stun on Misfortune and Rengar as he tries to run away. I QSS Mcbaze ult and easily kill him in Misfortune. The main takeaway from this is you have to always know your biggest threat on the other team. If Rakan was there, he would just ult me and knock me up, making it really hard to win that fight. But since I saw him way out of position in mid, I knew this was an easy fight to take. Now that they have 3 dead, we want to try and get some objectives, so me and Gragas head down bot and push the wave in, then try to get the tower. My Xin should have came bot as well, so we could easily get the tower and open up an inhibitor for me to split push, but he ignores my pings and stays mid for the tier 2 tower, which lets Rakan and Gnar stop us from getting it by killing our Gragas. This is a tricky situation for us because since one of us died and the enemy team knows we want to reset to spend our gold, this is a really good chance for them to start Baron. Knowing this, I don't recall and head straight to it. The correct play for the enemy team is to see if we come and try to stop them, and if we do, they need to back off since it's really hard for a team to win a team fight when Baron is doing damage to everyone and reducing their resistances. But the enemy Rengar overextends for a control ward and we engage a fight. This is near impossible for them to win because of Baron, so we clean this up easy. Now that we killed 4 of them, my team can do Baron while I recall and clear the super minions in mid. Now that we have Baron, I want to do the same thing as before, split bot and wait for the enemy team to make a mistake. But as I start to push bot, our Gragas gets caught wandering around in mid doing who knows what. And since we lost an inhib, I wasn't sure if they were going to keep pushing, I'm just forced to recall. At this point, I'm getting annoyed with my team getting caught, so I just run down mid, push the wave, then ping them to come top and group while we have Baron. Splitting is the better option, but with Baron, grouping is also viable. We see Gnar bot, so this tower is free to take. And since the enemy team decided not to defend, we get this tower and the inhib for free. We should just back off and go do the same thing mid or bot, but my Xin Zhao randomly goes in. It's really important to know when your team is picking a really bad fight like this. They have 2 Nexus towers, so it's impossible to fight them here. So I take the easy kill right in front of me and stay out of the fight, pinging my team to leave. Then I head towards mid since we have a wave coming and we can just take it for free. But as I do that, my team decides to fight again and trades 1 for 1. This is just wasting time for pointless kills when we can get free towers. I try to take the tower, but they end up collapsing on me and killing me. This was my fault, but I didn't think my Braum and Lucian would just leave me, because if we look at their health after that 1v4, they are pretty low, so if they stayed we would easily win that. After I die, they come back and take the mid inhibitor. At this point, the game is basically over. All we have to do is go down bot as 5 and let the mid and top super minions pressure the Nexus towers. Then when they go to clear it, we can take the bot tower and the inhibitor. But my team has other plans and overstay, and 2 of them end up dying. Luckily, we don't get punished for this since we had minions in their base. Now that I'm alive, I just need to wait until the rest of my team is up so we can group for bot tower. So I just farm the jungle while waiting. It's really important I don't get caught here and stagger our deaths even more. Everyone is alive now, so I ping them to come for bot tower and tell them to just come through lane with me so nobody gets picked. Because think about it, the enemy team knows all we need to do is group as 5 bot and let the minions push in, so right now is their only window to try and get a pick. That's why it's best to just come through lane as 5. Of course my team yet again had other plans and walked through the enemy jungle where 2 of them get picked. I try and salvage the fight but I couldn't, so we end up getting aced 5 for 1. I'm obviously super annoyed at this point because I'm literally standing in bot lane waiting for them so we can just end the game, but they constantly throw. And sadly, Baron was coming up so the enemy team gets it before we respawn. Since the enemy team just got Baron and should be recalling, we head over and take Dragon real fast. Their inhibitors are coming back up, so this next fight could be the game for both teams. Knowing this, we decide to look for a pick instead of just running down mid. We catch Gnar face checking the brush, and I stun him and go all in. We should just win the fight really hard at this point and instantly kill him, but as I'm chasing him my team runs away for whatever reason and leaves me to fight alone. Rengar ults me and the rest of their team converges on me as well, while my team is full health on the other side of the wall. They pop my Guardian Angel, and as it's coming back up my team finally decides to help, which buys me time to land a stun and kill 3 of them. We shouldn't have won this fight because of how hard my team misplayed, but I popped off and got a quadra kill. Since we have no minion wave for mid, we can't end, but they should be able to get 2 inhibitors. Of course, instead of just taking the inhibs, they try to fight and my bot lane ends up dying. This is really bad because now the enemy team can counter push and try to end with these long death timers. So the enemy team is trying to end and Mcbaze flashes in and ults Gragas. I know if I go in right away, Rakan will ult me with Misfortune ult on top and they will kill me fast. So I want to play this slowly and go in after they use their big cooldowns. After Rakan and Misfortune ult, I use my ult and go in, making my way back to Malzahar first, then killing Rengar as well. Luckily, this buys enough time for my Braum and Lucian to respawn, and they end up getting Misfortune, then Lucian teleports bot and gets the last inhib and aces them. My team tries to end the game, but they die to Misfortune and Rengar. Then I try to end and can't seem to get close enough, and our Braum and Gragas end up dying. This is really bad because Baron is coming up and we have 2 members dead, so we could potentially just lose here if they get it. Since I know they're going to come to Baron, and I know if they have 5 people together we can't stop them, I go towards their blue to try to catch them and get a pick before they do it. As expected, Malzahar runs straight into me and I kill him, then bait the other 2 into my team. Then, just when you think the game is over, since all we need to do is run together and end as 5, Lucian and Xin get caught again and die to Misfortune. But since we have 3 waves of super minions, we run in and end the game. So as you can see, even in higher elo, players still make the games really difficult through really poor macro decisions, and you have to constantly be tracking where they are on the minimap so you know what plays you can make. That's going to be all for this video. See you next time.